Hey, my name is Alex, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about three-point lighting and how I use three-point lighting for my videos. So let's get started. First off, you're going to need to know where your subject is going to be sitting. And I decided to place the chair here, and because it had a good combination of the back um, desk or dresser and the back bookcase, and I thought that was a good combination for the shot. The next thing you need to know is where you're going to place your camera. You need to know whether or not you're going to put your camera directly in front of your subject, off to the side of your subject, and how that's going to affect where you can place your lights. Where I've decided to place my camera is directly in front of me, but a little bit off to the side, which leaves me a lot of room to place my lights off to the side. Now we're going to talk about the three lights you use in three-point lighting. The first and most important light is the key light. The key light is off to the side, either left or right side, at about the 4 o'clock position relative to the subject. This is the brightest light used in the setup, and it's the light that you use to set your exposure to. The light that I'm using for this key light is just a regular old clamp light, clamped on to a light stand, and it has a little bit of wax paper clipped over the front of the light for diffusion. And that is what I use for my key light. And as you can see, it really just gives a broad light over the whole scene, and it lights the background and the foreground. And the reason it's off to the side is because I don't want any shadows on the backdrop, first of all. And second of all, you don't really want direct lighting. You don't want just straight on lighting. You want light placed off to the side or above or down, just to give some depth. And that is all you really need to know about the key light. The next light we need to talk about is the fill light. The fill light, from its name, fills in the shadows caused by the key light. And the fill light is anywhere from 50% and less of the key light's strength. So if, let's say, this is the key light strength, the fill light is only going to be at this, 50% or less. And like I said, the fill light, all it really does is just fills in the shadow on the person's face. So if I were to be sitting down, I would have the key light blowing up the side of my face with a lot of light, and it's probably going to be soft light because of the diffusion I'm using. And I need something to fill in those shadows, just to make them less harsh and put a little more detail on the other side of my face. So this is what the fill light is for. The fill light I'm using is just like the key light. It's a clamp light clamped on to a stand, and it has diffusion paper over it. But the only thing different of this one, to make it less strength than the key light, I had to plug a dimmer into it. And this is what the dimmer looks like. It's just a cord with a switch on it that moves up and down, and that is obviously how much power goes into your light. And it's really simple. This plugs into the wall, and it has another jack that your light plugs into, and that lets it be dimmed. So that's all you really need to know about the fill light. The third and last light used in three-point lighting is not as important as the first two, the key and the fill, but it is a good idea if you want to get a three-dimensional look with your lighting. This light is called the backlight, or the hair light, and it's also called a kicker light. This backlight is pointed on the back of the subject, pointed at either their hair or their shoulders or both, and it really just separates the subject from the background. If you didn't have it, the image would just look flat, and your subject would just blend in with the rest of the background lighting-wise. And this is just pointed on the subject to pop off, and it just gives it a defined edge on one or maybe both sides of the subject's body. The light that I'm using for my backlight is just simply a desktop lamp, and you can buy these for $15. anywhere. Walmart, Target, even Home Depot, because they have home furniture there. And this, it was just placed on the dresser and is pulled out of the shot, and it really just really fills in the side of the body, and it gives me a good separation from the background. Also, an optional light to add to make your 3-point lighting into obviously a 4-point lighting setup is a background light. And instead of a backlight, the background light is actually pointed onto the background to actually illuminate the background, because sometimes your background may be too dark, and if you want the background to be a part of your shot, a background light is a good idea to use. So that is basically it about 3-point lighting. 3-point lighting is just a great setup for video production, for whatever video you're making, whether it be a video blog or even a movie you're doing filmmaking. You can use these setups in your shots, and it'll really just give any type of video of great professional value. Until next time, I'm Alex, and this has been a video tutorial on 3-point lighting, and I want to thank you for watching the video, and please subscribe so that you know when I upload more videos, and see you next time.